Hello? Hello? Yeah, we're back. Okay. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, we're back. What up? People will gather. Computer, like, hard crashed. Couldn't move the mouse, couldn't do nothing. The streaming software was obviously crashed. So I just had to unplug it, plug it back in. Double like, let's go. That's apparently just what we're doing now. So I'll pause it for a second, give people a little bit of time to hop in. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So where we were, Lizardmen build. Who's pinging me right now? Anyway, Lizardmen build, Ripperdactyls, 5 skirmish skinks, 3 Saurus, 2 Crocscores, one of which is the Sacred Core of Quaddle, and a Life Slan versus Tzeentch. Did hummus crash? Yes, I did. Yep, computer's completely shut down. Someone is running from a 10-hour stream? Of course I am, dude. Of course I am. Anyway, Tzeentch has their flying knights. They're flying Sky Rays, Kairos Fate Weaver, Soul Grinder of Tzeentch, the Mutal Vortex Beast, 4 Blue Horrors, one of which is the ROR, and 2 Zongors. Ripperdactyls tried to take a fight with Kairos. They regretted it. They are now Gaze of Fated in front of a bunch of Blue Horrors, and the Shrieking Sky Rays are coming in for a little bit of a poke, and the Soul Grinder is firing at them. So they're not having a good time, but as soon as the net wears off, Groot does get them to the ground. He is going to try and run away here. Tzeentch did a DDoS attack? Yeah, it was sad. I was angry. Oh well. We'll get over it. Ripperdactyls get hit with a nasty blue fire. And man, they're taking a lot of damage from these Blue Horrors. Lizards are having a bad time. Look at that balance of power already. My god. Okay. Alright, Tzeentch. That's fine. Slan chucks out his bound banishment for a little bit of damage as Crocscores pile onto the Blue Horrors. We'll get good damage out as the Blue Horrors try and punish the Clawstone Hunters, who are chasing down the Shrieking Sky Rays. Tzeentch wants to avoid an aerial battle. Even wounded, these 3 Ripperdactyls could probably beat the air forces of Tzeentch if left uncontested. I mean, they'd have a lot of healing from their Slan and stuff. But the Blue Horrors getting shots out is really good. Wow, the Core of Waddle tore through those Blue Horrors. And the front line of Lizardmen is actually having a pretty good time versus Tzeentch's front line. It's just the blue fire and the Blue Horrors, everything blue shooting up into the Ripperdactyls is a terrible, terrible time for the Lizards. One Ripperdactyl is entirely dead, and it was not getting a regrowth. It was the Knights of Immolation that were getting the regrowth, so it's not as bad as I had feared. Mutal Vortex Beast is actually getting lit up by Skink Skirmishers, though, quietly on the sidelines. Lizards are doing okay there. Second Ripperdactyl is routed off, leaving just this one, still fighting the Shrieking Sky Rays, and the Knights of Immolation are fine with their regrowth. Kairos is also fine. But on the ground, Tzeentch is not having nearly as good of a go of things. Mutal Vortex Beast already at half HP. Soul Grinder used a lot of its ammunition, not gotten a ton done. And most of the Blue Horrors, most of the Zongors have been defeated. Can the Air Force of Tzeentch rejoin the battle and carry the whole game? We'll find out. It is looking likely. Overall, I would rather be Tzeentch in this situation, but that's not exactly a hot take. Shouty shooting blue fire on the dance floor. Well, there goes another Blue Horror. And the Chromatic Abominations are almost gone. Rip, Patrick. Yeah, hopefully we don't crash again. Shit happens, though. It was a hard crash, too. It wasn't just like, oh, Warhammer crashed. It was your whole computer shuts down, needs a moment. Both those Blue Horrors are gone. The Court of Waddle somehow getting a little far out, but the Soul Grinder really wants to take a fight with them all alone? I don't know about that. I think the Court of Waddle would still be pretty happy to take this, even without infantry support. Because what's going to join? Shrieking Sky Rays, you also want to fight. Kairos, you also want to fight. The Mutal Vortex Beast is somewhere. He fucked way off. Yeah. Looks like the Soul Grinder just gonna fight till its barriers wear off, then it runs away, which is understandable. An unholy mess of skinks rallying around. It looks like the Lizardmen are taking this opportunity to kill off random infantry of Tzeentch. If Tzeentch wants to hold all of their, like, cavalry and their single entities back, it looks like the Lizards are more than happy to let them do so. Court of Waddle taking big damage as the Knights of Immolation get a rear charge and the Shrieking Skyrays get involved. They're going to need a regrowth or something, but the Salon doesn't have it, and the Salon puts an Earthblood onto the Skink Skirmishers. That has to be a mistake, as now the Court of Waddle are just going to get killed off without any support whatsoever. That is a crucial mistake, if it was one, which I argue it would be. And a big Tier 3 army ability off-screen deletes some Sora's Spears, and all of a sudden this game went from looking slightly Tzeentch favored to very Tzeentch favored. Oof. Oof. Shrieking Skyray is just about to fade away. The Knights of Immolation have taken pretty big damage, though, in the trades. The Lizardmen did okay up on the high ground. It was that low ground Tier 3 army ability and some of the healing, unfortunately, going to waste. That is really going to cost them. Now, the Cohort of Waddle should be run off the map by the Knights of Immolation. Not a whole lot they can do there. And Croc is running back into these Zongors and Blue Horrors. Get big damage on the charge. Will take out the last of Tzeentch's ground-based support. Sir Groot is relying on 4 Skink Skirmishers with a good amount of ammunition to try and carry this whole thing. As a Bound Banishment goes for the Knights of Immolation, paired up with a Blood Statute of Spite. I get that. Doesn't want to use the Banishment over here in case it goes astray and hits a bunch of Sora's Spears. The Soras are way more valuable than super wounded Zongors, so just don't want the friendly fire of the Banishment. Mutalith Vortex Beast back to full HP since we last checked in on him due to regrowth shenanigans. And another regrowth from Kairos onto the Knights of Immolation. So he's regrowth the Knights of Immolation, he's regrowth the Mutalith Vortex Beast, and he's cast 1.5 million Blue Fires. So that's fine. Kairos is fine. I'm super happy Kairos exists. Fuck Kairos. I hope patch 4.1, if it ever comes out, guts his ass into the dirt. Anyway. Looks like the Soul Grinder's trying to snipe out the Croxagors, the last healthy mass the Lizards have. Skink Skirmishers, don't know what they're going to shoot at for now. Zongors are going to get pushed out very quickly. Another blue fire from Kairos. Does Kairos even lift? Or is he a cart? Is he all cardio running around? Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, he's probably just all cardio. Mutalith is in. Now, Sora's Spears should do a lot of damage to it if they can stop and fight it for a bit. Skink Skirmishers will also get pretty good pokeouts. The Mutalith is at risk, but it looks like it's trying to cycle charge while Kairos and his Soul Grinder also commit to the fight. And Soul Grinder's out of ammo, so now Tzeentch is stuck in the grind, which is not what they want to be doing at all. They're forced to. I mean, they're out of ammunition. Balance power is heavily in their favor, but if the Croxagors can hold on, if the Salon can throw out some more healing for them or something, then the skirmishing could be pretty brutal, but it looks like the Soras are already terror routing as the healing is coming in. If it's just a terror route, which it looks like it is, they could turn around and fight, and then we'll be okay. If it was a natural route, we'd have big problems, but oh fuck, the Knights of Immolation are still here. Never mind, Tzeentch has got this shit. I mean, like, when I was looking at just 3 single entities, you can see that the Mutalith is getting shredded. That's what I was basing my information off of. I didn't know we still had these guys. They're gonna be fine. They can bomb and chase down all the Skink Skirmishers. Oh, it's brutal. Skink Skirmishers are wrecking the Mutalith, though. That's good to see. I also like this. I like just leaving Kairos with the Life Salon. You don't care. You know how bullshit and tanky he is. You might as well just let him go. And as soon as I say that, they try to commit to him, and he does the thing. I really wish that the Croxagors had gone, like, over here and helped with this whole situation. Also, there's some Skink Skirmishers forgotten in the background. That's a little tedious. Hope his campaign and multiplayer spells different? What? Why do you hope that? That's currently the case. Fat Kid, I agree 100%. Another regrowth for the Mutalith Vortex Beast! Ah, so many regrowths, but don't worry, he's not even sacrificing blue fires to do so because he's just casting blue fires anyway. There's another tier 3 army ability with the Gaze of Fate on the last healthy Skink Skirmisher to net it in place, so it can't even dodge if it wanted to. Other Skink Skirmishers are trying to rejoin the fight, but they are probably too little, they are probably too late. Tier 3 army ability is going to take out that Skink Skirmisher. And it looks like the Lizardmen will be in mass rout here as Asaurus also gets deleted by that ability. Slann trying to heal up as Kairos blue fires the Slann while he also gets attacked by the Megalith Vortex Beast. That might just send us into army losses, potentially, possibly, I've been saying for a long time. But with no Skink Skirmishers left to really offer meaningful fire support, that leaves just a half-health Kroxigor, a very close to dead Saurus Spear, and a Life Slann versus the Mutalith, a Soul Grinder, Kairos, and Doom Knights. There is no hope for the Lizards, and they back out. That was a pretty good game, actually. Patrick Walker, you're excited? I want to be excited. I like dwarves thematically. Their current execution in-game, no. I have been advocating for a while for big buffs to Dwarf Lords not named Thoric. Nerfs for Thoric. I don't know if dwarves need, like, buffs. They could use some new units. Cannons could use better accuracy. Grudge throwers could use better accuracy. Bolt throwers could use better accuracy and damage. Like, yeah, but I like dwarves thematically. Right now, there's just too much incentive to Thoric Blob because of his numerous problematic auras where it incentivizes you to play as tightly packed as possible. And then Gyrocopters being cheap and super, like, small, and archery units can't do much damage to them. Dwarves are just so incentivized to play a tiny box with Gyrocopter Kite. And I'm like, dude, this shit sucks. I want rock and stone, 20 stack of the thickest boys you can find. Thunderers, Iron Drakes, pummeling kids with some fire and gunpowder and awesomeness. Get some Slayers in there, fuck this shit up. And instead it's like, Gotrek, Felix, and Thoric, plus 4 Gyrocopters. Ooh, rock and stone. I hate this shit. Current dwarves suck ass. I really hope they get reworked. Alright, let's boot up the Warriors of Chaos. And Sir Groot did get a win. Wait, no. No, Tzeentch won. And while this boots up, I gotta add back in the Excel spreadsheet, because when it crashed, I lost the spreadsheet, so I had to redo it. Crop the top, crop the bottom, crop the right, okay, and then make it big. There we go. Better. Okay, what are we doing? Same Lizard build versus the Warriors of Chaos. We saw them once before. 3 Marauders, 2 Chaos Warriors with Halberds, 2 Trolls, 1 of which is armored, 1 is not. 2 Chaos Knights with Slaanesh, 3 Skirmish Cav, 1 of which is a Horsemaster, 2 are Horses of Tzeentch, and then Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. Nice Burning Head from Archaon. Just a naked Burning Head onto some Skirmishers. Spread formation still almost kills them. That's actually very impressive. A bit late, Groot. You missed 2 of your own games. You missed Slaanesh and Tzeentch. And then I put a 0 under Nurgle because you didn't fight Nurgle. And you did miss part 1. My computer crashed, so it ended up being a 2-part stream. Chaos Knights with Slaanesh going to catch out these Skink Skirmishers and a devastating charge. Massacre them. My god. Now they're going to try and run away as Ripperdactyls and Saurus Spears get some poke on them. Skink Skirmishers also throwing as they depart. Chaos feeling pretty good so far. They've knocked 2 Skirmishers down at the cost of a third of the HP of one of their Slaanesh Knights. What up, CJ? Skirmish Cav also piling into the Saurus Spears. They won't want that. That's probably a bit of a whoopsie, and they want to back off. Chaos Trolls fighting on top of Marauders and such. They'll be okay with that. Might need Searing Doom support from Archaon, but a big Dwellers Below from Sir Groot behind the Warriors of Chaos. And that is nasty. It's caught 3 units. Not the Marauders, but it did catch the Trolls, the Halberds, and the Skirmish Cav. Skirmish Cav have to fall back. Ooh, this other Skirmish Cav's getting really good poke onto the Ripperdactyl Riders, though. Okay. So both sides getting nice trades in either direction. Trolls and Chaos Knights fighting side by side. This is a bad fight for them. Ripperdactyls, Cohort of Waddle, Saurus Spears, so the Warriors of Chaos are going to want to get out of there. The center is going a bit better for them after that Dwellers Below kind of fucked their whole day. And if I remember correctly, the bottom flank was going great. Yeah, they had some skirmish cav that was wrecking Ripperdactyls, and now they're chasing down these other things. Blood Statute of Spite, plus all of the poke from this ongoing fight, really whittling down those Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. And things go well for the Lizardmen. Pretty darn well, but the Ripperdactyls have seen better days. I remember the other Ripperdactyl below the screen right now also wasn't feeling great. Hello, I love you. Hey, meow meow, I agree. Anyway. Skirmish Cav still firing into the Class Hunters. Overall, I'm getting a little concerned for the Warriors of Chaos, but they are going to route a Kroxigor in the center field. And they've already routed off a Saurus there, so they can chase that down. Skink Skirmishers across the board are feeling the heat, and a really nice Searing Doom from Archaon is going to do good damage to Saurus Spears and the Court of Waddle. Again, considering it's like, what, a 4 or a 6 window magic spell? 6. Which is fine. If Archaon can find his way onto the Life Salon, he can wreck that fool and win this whole game. If he can't, then the Lizardmen will probably grind down the Warriors of Chaos through just healing and attrition. So the race is on. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh can chase off what they can, and Archaon is... Wow, he just plowed through those King Skirmishers. I saw a couple go flying. That was scary. Anyway, now they shattered. So goodbye, my friends. Court of Waddle still dancing in the moonlight, having the best time of their lives. And Slann patiently sits behind his bodyguards, watching the chaos unfold. He doesn't give a shit. Another Searing Doom hits all of them. Archaon's routing off some stuff. Another Dwellers Below. That's the most Dwellers Below we've seen since the nerfs, and both of them are going to hit dead center of some Chaos Warriors with Halberds, but Archaon is trying to push his way through, and as soon as he gets here, the Slann just nopes straight into the Cohort of Waddle, wants nothing to do with it, and the Ripperdactyl Rider ROR is here to really punish Archaon. And all of Archaon's support is leaving at the same time, because Dwellers Below just kind of kicked all of their asses. Chaos needs any of their mobility forces that are in the area to come over and charge. They need help for Archaon. It looks like that the cavalry is coming, literally, as the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh start to charge in. And they do have the Slaanesh passive, so they get double charge bonus, or is it 50% more if they charge something in the rear? Yeah, double charge bonus when they attack something in the rear. They should be able to help out Archaon here quite a bit. Chaos Trolls getting through the Skink Skirmishers and more Halberds joining the area. So if Archie can hold on, Chaos does have some meaningful support coming. Like, especially these Halberds. If they can join the fight, everything over here is something they want to deal with. Court of Waddle have seen better days. The Clawson Hunters really didn't take that much damage in the fight, which is a bit surprising. And the Slann is sitting in the middle of bad guys. He should be in danger. Oof, as he takes a nasty 1-2 punch. There are some Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch here helping out, and the Halberds have arrived, but is that a bound banishment? All right, RNGesus, whose side are you with? RNGesus favors the Chaos Gods as the banishment fucks off into nowhere, and Archaon is whooping the Life Slann's ass! I told you it would happen, but still, you love to see it. Life Slann taken down below half HP in the blink of an eye, and he's almost routing. Archaon is back after him, and even causes him to terror out. Looks like the Halberds and the Trolls are trying to peel for Archaon so we can keep after the Life Slann. The Clawson Hunters are back in the fight, though. It looks like most of Chaos' support is also going to rout. So the good damage on the Life Slann notwithstanding, it's just not going to be enough to get through the Lizards in the late game. But Archaon is a man on a mission. He's going to lose this game, but he's going to kill that fucking frog. And as I say that, he walks up and he fumbles about trying to swing at the Slann. That is one of my problems with the Slann, is they're tanky and whatever, but also their hitboxes feel very meh. And like Archaon just rolled up and then stopped. But he's trying his best. Still have one healthy skirmish cav. It's Marauder Horse Master that probably could do some cycle charging. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh trying to get involved, but man, there's 3 Ripperdactyl Riders still on the field. They're all feeling all right, and army losses is even going to hit for the Warriors of Chaos. Cool, cool. Slann and the Kroxigors got great value. Ripperdactyls did fine. The rest of the Lizardman army, mixed. For Borgash, who was repping the Warriors of Chaos, he was Sir Groot's replacement when Sir Groot had to leave for a bit. Mixed value. His Archaon got insane value. Everything else kind of struggled. Struggle along. Sir Groot and the Lizards have tied Golden Floof? No, Golden Floof got to 3. I had to remake my Excel spreadsheet real quick. So if he can beat Khorne, he will tie Golden Floof at 3 wins. Lizards are undefeated. Lizards are not undefeated. They lost to Tzeentch. What are you talking about? You can't just forget it because the stream cut out. Kitty Cat's back. We haven't seen this since the first game of the day, but 5 Minotaurs, 4 Marauders of Khorne, 4 Chaos Warhounds, and an Exalted Bloodthirster. Versus the Healy Lizards. Let's get into it. On to the skirmishing. None of these Minos have shields. The Skink Skirmishers will want to punish them when they are able. Can I have some cornflakes? Sure. You're getting some right now. Bound Banishment is out. On to the Marauders. Patrick, Frog lived. He did live. He did. Exalted Bloodthirster is now beset by Ripperdactyls, but if he gives the land command, which he is now, if the Ripperdactyls aren't on their shit about not following him, they will get eaten alive by Minos. Thankfully, they're on top of it. They get out of there. And a Skink Skirmisher actually gets caught by the dogs and Marauders. Skink Skirmisher's not having a great time in this early game. One of the dogs is routed off by Rippers, but these other dogs are chilling. They're doing just fine. Marauders trying to get a fight anywhere they can to let the Minos catch up. And oh yeah, the Kroxigors are horrendously outnumbered by the Minotaurs. I'm actually super scared for this Lizardman build. I don't know how they're going to deal with all these Minotaurs, man. Well, right now, the Minotaurs of Khorne are getting slapped by spears plus the Cord of Waddle. But once they get a critical mass of Minos in here, they'll be fine. Another Dwellers Below trying to cut off some of the Khorne support. Dwellers has received some nerfs, though. It's not nearly as potent versus large entity models like Minotaurs. So they're going to be fine just sitting in it. Now, you will lose Marauders, but if Khorne ever cared about the Marauders, it'd be a cold day in hell. Khorne up on the balance of power. A lot of Skink Skirmishers have been defeated already. Saurus Spears holding strong. So are the Kroxigors and Ripperdactyls for now. But when there's less and less Skinks to take that damage for you, I think we're going to watch those Ripperdactyls really attrition out. Chaos Warhounds of Khorne having a very tough time hitting these Skink Skirmishers? What the fuck? Why aren't they just eating you guys alive? That feels buggy and wrong, but okay. 1 Mino of Khorne already pushed out. More healing coming in from the Slann. Huh. And Khorne is having an issue with them their Saurus Spears. I'm sure they could use a Sword of Khorne about now. Take out some of those guys. And these dogs are really, really shitting the bed on fighting these Skink Skirmishers. Just that's a thing that's happening. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No, I'm not mad. Why would I be mad? That's fine. That's okay. Some of the best dogs in the game getting onto a random-ass skirmisher unit and doing no damage is also fine. Exalted Bloodthirster getting taken down by the Clostodon Hunters and Spears and some nearby Skink Skirmishers that are also beset by dogs, who are not filtering in as much as they should be. They're just kind of standing around, being a little bit awkward. A little bit fucking awkward, bud. More and more Minotaurs are failing the Blood God. And now the Exalted Bloodthirster even starts to crumble away, and that will be army losses as the dogs put on a shameful display. I am frustrated, I am sad, I am disheartened by the performance of those dogs. Alright. Lizards went 3-1, but they did not challenge Nurgle. Yeah, Groots. Yeah. Can't beat, won't beat. There was a Tzeentch game where the Lizards got beat. I will not have this propaganda. Anyway, here's the final tally for the Lizards. They did not fight Nurgle, so they didn't get a point. So far, our 2 contestants that we have cast out of 7, there's 5 more to go, have each won 3. So far we're sitting at a 6-hour stream with patch 4.1. Can anybody get to 4 or even 5? Since we have so many Dark Elves and Rainy Frog just showed up, let's hop into some Dark Elves. And we'll start with the Nurgle build, since we didn't get to see them with our lizardy friends. Hey, Frog, we're going to cast your games now. Hey, Bwags. Welcome back to Dark Elves. Now we have a Soul Stealer Dragon. There she is. Soul Stealer Dragon, a single Reaper Bolt Thrower, triple Witch Elf, 1 Shade, some Cold One Knights and Dark Riders, a front line of Dread Spears, a single Dark Shard, and the Raven's Herald Repeater Crossbows. You want the 10-hour stream? Good. Good. Someone's going to have to beat all these builds then. For the Nurgle build, if you haven't seen it before, 5 Nurglings, one of which is the ROR, 3 Exalted Plague Bearers, one of which is the ROR, the Cultist on his Healy Shrine, a Soul Grinder of Nurgle, and Kugath, motherfucking Plaguefather. What up, Wesley Bravo? So for Rainy Frog, he will have to rely on his Reaper Bolt Thrower, his Dark Shards, his Shades, and his Raven's Heralds to carry him through this one with good breath attacks and Soul Stealers. And his infantry, as we mentioned before, is probably doomed. They might still be alive in the late game, but if you just have infantry to kill Kugath, he can kill literally all of them without an issue. Where is the bestest faction race? You'll have to ask Patrick in the chat. Patrick tried Skaven, I believe. It's not the run he ended up submitting, but he did try him. Nice breath attack onto the Exalted Plague Bearers. Gets them down to half HP and immediately rampages them from the Witch Elves. We're going to get some cycle charging here from Cavalry. Dark Riders will get a rear charge and all that stuff. But Cavalry is not the best against Nurgle. Lil Trill, I'll never yell at you. Unless you do some really dumb bullshit. I'll yell at people for doing really dumb bullshit. It's kind of my MO. Nurgle is slapping this front line on the top side. His Plague Bearer is doing really well, and it looks like some artillery support from Kugath and the Soul Grinder also doing great. The Reaper Bolt Thrower in the back for Frog, though, has been rallied, meaning it just gets constant free damage onto Kugath, who is now surrounded by Cold One Knights and the Dark Elf Supreme Sorceress, and getting shot by Shades and the Raven's Herald. And if he dies, so do the chances Nurgle has here. Plaguefather's Oration giving him 79 melee defense, plus the Fleshy Abundance trying to heal him up. And the Soul Grinder has come back to try and help out a little bit. But man, that range damage is really coming in for Kugath. The Fecundity also trying to heal him up. And his heal cap is fast approaching. Though the Dark Elves have taken a lot of damage in these trades too. Some Nurglings fading away. Exalted Plague Bearers also on their way out. And the Cold Knights taking a ton of damage from just existing next to Kugath. They'll get pushed off. But the Demonic Instability crumbling starts for him. It's his worst enemy. Is a big volley from the Shades. Guarantees he is not going to rally in time. Continues to crumble away, and he's doing okay against the Supreme Sorceress of Dark, but there's just so much ranged pressure, and that is how you kill Kugath. You do not fight him. Even duelists have a hard time fighting Kugath. You just need to shoot him. And without their caster, without their lord, the leadership tanks a bit for the Nurgle forces, and they're getting pretty close to routing. And crumbling, and whatever, and yada yada. These Shades, man. These Shades being uncontested and firing away is a problem. It looks like Umbrella realized it too, sending his Festering Stooges up there to try and stop them a little bit. But a big Soul Stealer onto these 2 units, plus another volley from the Dark Shards and the Shades might take out the Soul Grinder quickly. Balance of power shifts away from Nurgle, and the Dark Elves score themselves a dub. Rainy Frog is on the board. Shades with 2,300 value, Bolt Thrower with 800. His Repeater Crossbows in this guy with 1,500 value. All really good stuff. So Frog's build could beat the Blob, but can it beat the rest? We'll do Groot. Oh. Hey, that's actually a good quote. Archaon the Everchosen, by Khorne, by Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Tzeentch, let the world come crashing down. That's kind of what's happening here. Alright, same build versus Chaos with their 3 Skirmish Cav and 2 Chaos Knights. Will they hold? Looking at it, I think the front lines are pretty evenly matched, though with a good Burning Head, Archaon should be able to tip the balance in their favor. And then if the Shades and Dark Shards are on the back foot just running away from basic Marauders, they won't be able to shoot. I think Chaos has a pretty decent build for dealing with this, depending on the Burning Heads and stuff. Really nice Skirmish Cav volley, already taking a 3rd HP off the Ravens Heralds. It looks like they're just going to sit here and get a little bit more. They want to be careful. If they get rampaged by the Witch Elves, that'll be a disaster for them. But they wanted one more volley on the Ravens Heralds. A nice big Burning Head just off screen does finish off a Dark Shard, and Chaos Knights of Slaanesh get through. So they'll charge down these Dark Shards, but they could also run back and deal with the Bolt Thrower. Where's the Shade? The Shade is off to the side, not getting involved yet. So for right now, we just have a frontline fight without any support really from either side helping out, and that definitely favors Chaos. Without these Shades in position to help, without the Cavalry in position to help, their front line is just going to bump and grind a little bit better. Nice Breath Attack from the Dark Elf Sorceress, though, takes the Warriors with Halberds down to about half HP and rampages them. But Chaos is doing good. Chaos is doing good so far. Some of their Skirmish Cav is getting caught out by Dark Riders. That's not great. Where are these Chaos Knights of Slaanesh going? Doesn't look like they're ready to go fight their Bolt Throwers just yet. It looks like they're chilling for now. They got to find a home. They got to do it fast. Looks like they're going to rear charge some Dread Spears over here. Witch Elves route on the far side, and a Soul Stealer pokes down Archaon and some more Chaos Warriors for just a bit. Dark Elves start a flank of their own, but Marauders and Armored Trolls don't care as much about Dark Riders as Dread Spears and Bleak Swords hate to be rear charged. Witch Elves too. Skirmish Cav still harassing the Repeater Crossbows quite a bit in the sky, and now the Shades have joined the fight, getting some good volleys onto, it looks like, Chaos Knights. But are they too late? Has Chaos gotten too much going for them? Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch do get caught in the ether a little bit. Looks like they have orders elsewhere for the Chaos Army. And Chaos is starting to win the northern fights, trying to roll that success down into other fights and turn them in their favor. Nice Searing Doom is going to hit some Coldwell Knights. The Coldwell Knights are really holding up the back of the Dark Elf army right now. Still pretty high in HP and leadership, just holding the line wherever things were kind of falling apart. Most of the Dark Elf infantry is dead. These Witch Elves are going to rampage some Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, but aside from that, not doing too good. Yeah, good breath attack onto the Chaos Warriors with the Halberds. Anyway, as we were saying, most of the Dark Elf infantry was falling apart till these Cold Knights joined the fight, and they're just holding like champions for the Repeater Crossbows, for the Bolt Throwers, for the Shades to get done what they need to get done. Marauder Horsemaster's going to go into melee mode. Dark Shard's trying to turn and fire, but they won't get a shot off in time. They are just going to get run down. Say goodbye to the Dark Shard soon-ish. Bounce power shifts pretty heavily against the Warriors of Chaos. And I am inclined to agree as more Trolls are routing Archaon, as seems to be a theme. Archaon is the last healthy thing on the battlefield. Really nice Burning Head will finish off these Dark Riders and Witch Elves, but the Cold Knights will probably stay. And then just look at all of these Dark Elf units. Still a full health caster on a Dragon, full health Shade, pretty healthy Cold One Spear Rider, and a Reaper Bolt Thrower completely uncontested. And on the other side, you have Archaon, end of list. I think that's about it. As a dragon walks menacingly over him. He'll try and duel his way out. But it won't be enough. GG. Glancing through the values, it's very spread out. It looks like the Dark Elves had wide success. For Sir Groot, Archaon did fine. His Chaos Knights of Slaanesh and his Trolls really just faltered on value. Skirmish Cav did okay. The rest suffered. All right. So that was that. Rainy Frog is up 2-0. Is this the 5-0 run? It's looking good so far for our froggy friend. Can Khorne stop